All right, guys, good morning to everybody. Today is the 10th of June, 2026. CRAZII Global Market Talk with KEL. CRAZII, anytime, anywhere. Now, today is a very, very, very important day. I already tell all my people today is a big day because tonight we will have the CPI data coming out. Now, CPI is a Consumer Producer Index. This is going to be a very big, major one. The market will be looking at it very, very closely. All right, the market will look at it very closely, and we will definitely be watching it very closely too. And I'll explain to you today how I feel about the market later. All right. Now, before that, disclaimer apply as usual. Please understand this. Do your risk management before engaging, especially for today. Now, today could be a make or break. Make means if you can make a lot of money from the market. Break means if you make a mistake, you can get hell from the market. So that's why it's very, very important to basically, get yourself into the right condition for trading today. Okay, so guys, this is very, very important. Yeah. All right, so let me just take a quick picture on this. All right, so let's start the fundamental first. All right, the fundamental. Now, we have a lot of news coming in this morning. All right, first of all, US military launches strikes in retaliation for Iran downing helicopter. Oh my God. All right, so the thing is this, US does launch an attack for Iran, on Iran because of the down helicopter. All right, so what happened? Not too sure yet. We need to see more. But the thing is this, we all know that now analysts are calling for sell on gold for the downside. Now, it's actually possible. Let me share this. 20%, I don't think so. Another 5% is possible. I'll share you why. Then, of course, we all know that oil price. Now, apparently, because of this attack, that's how oil price from $88 jumped back to $90, and now I think maybe trading higher. Now, I told you guys, I believe that later mid of this month or late of this month, there is a possibility of the war continuing. I know that some of you are asking me for my view on this. Now, I don't have a view. I mean, I don't have a, evidence to tell you that. But based on my personal experience as a trader and how the things are moving, I feel that there will be something cooking up very soon. Okay, so I explained this to you also. Today, the Zoom session is going to be a bit longer than usual because there's so much information I want to share with you. All right, so first of all, let's see what happened overnight. Now, S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed lower as cheap stock rebound failed. Now, in fact itself, we look carefully. Last night, the selling was pretty torrid all the way down. Then towards the end, there was a strong rebound, right? Because apparently Donald Trump again coming and tell the whole world that, hey, don't worry, in about 2-3 days time, the war is going to end. Now, I can tell you about Donald Trump. If you look carefully, when he called for buy on shares, it's because he bought himself earlier. All right, so that is where whatever he say will definitely come true. But when it comes to the war, if you look carefully, almost everything he say about the war has never come true. All right, 2-3 days, 3-4 days, 2 weeks, 60 days, 90 days. Come on, guys. This guy is full of crap. All right, so my personal view is this. No wonder itself his current rating is very, very low. All right, not against him, but it's just that imagine if he's our president. Oh my God, I cannot imagine that. All right, anyway, what you can see is that the iShares Semiconductor ETF SMH shake 1% after a 6% rebound on Monday. That's crazy. Now, the ETF has tumbled 10% last week. And of course, a lot of shares also came down together. So you can see this is what happened yesterday. But you can see how crazy it was when it came down all the way here. So the thing is, this is a very simple mathematics here, guys. All you need to watch is this. This is the highest point. This is the lowest point. Now this is A and this is B. So the midpoint of A and B, we take the box here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3.5 boxes will be somewhere around here. So we are actually now at the midpoint. So the thing is this, of course, if the market is pretty strong, it can rebound all the way back here, right? But at the same time, if it fails, then the selling will come back down again. And I think that this is going to be happening. Why? Because when the market is in a big bull run, the first retracement, the big sell-off, is usually a big one. Then the second one is always about the halfway mark. Yes. And then if the market failed to go higher, and that is where the real selling comes in. So I kind of suspect that this will happen this few weeks. All right. I kind of feel that this is going to happen within the next 2 weeks or so. So traders, please be careful. I think this might be happening, but of course I may be wrong. We need to just prepare ourselves. Okay. So that is my first view on that. Now the thing is this, the rest are all typical stuff. Now OpenAI has confidentially filed for an IPO late Monday, adding to the enthusiasm of the AI trade. Now, SpaceX and AI play, SpaceX, right, is all coming on Friday. And of course, we all know that the market is trying to squeeze valuation, squeeze liquidity from the market. But do note, it's just like when you put all the ships together and you put a chain on them, it will float together, it will stabilize together. But if you put a fire into the ships, it will burn together. You understand my point? So that is the reason why I felt that this is one thing that if you recall, it's the same thing back in 1999, 2000, where the NASDAQ crashed. Same thing happened. When the market was very high, everybody started to do IPO to catch the market and then break altogether. All right, so watch out for this. Now, oil price fell yesterday because of the U.S. Energy Secretary said the Hormuz ship traffic is increasing. But now again, the missile flyover, the whole thing had to stop again, right? That is what is happening right now. And I will look at this. American force launched strike against Iran in response to yesterday downing. So it was yesterday thing. And Trump said they'll respond and by military action. But of course, there's nothing talk about it. So it could be just sideways. All right, Citibank. Okay, this is a paid article, so I'll try to get for you. But they say 20%. I don't buy that. I'll share you my reason chart through the chart later. Oil price 150. This one I totally agree. I think oil will hit more than $150. My personal target for oil is about $164. The last high was $147. That was back in 2008. So why I say this number? Because we're talking about whenever the market break a new all-time high, usually you have a little bit more spike up. Now, of course, 164 is a middle ground. 180, 200 is a possibility, just like how silver shoot up, right? From $20+, hit the $50 mark, the all-time high, and then it went past all the way to $125. So that is crazy. But silver itself can be speculated and it can be pumped up because of the huge, what do you call, holding power of the people who are buying it. But for oil itself, right, you can go $200 per barrel. It will kill the whole world. That's why I don't think we'll see $200. If it goes there, I will definitely sell it. Okay, that's my personal view. All right. Okay, so let me just put it back. Okay. So my view is $164 in the near term to break the 147. That is an all-time high for crude oil. All right. Bitcoin continue the brutal sell-off. All right. And of course, Donald Trump keep on repeating that the Iran deal is just days away. Oh gosh, hate it. Okay, no, let's see now. The important thing where is that? Okay, investing.com. Where is it? Okay. Sorry. We'll take a look at the CPI data and we see that what is the numbers. I think it's 4.3%, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, let me just take a look just to verify this. Okay, let me filter up a little bit. Okay, so the core CPI data year on year is expecting to be 4.2%. 3.8% is the previous. Now that is before the oil price come into the picture. All right, so in case you want to know what is CPI, let's go into in depth on this because today is so important. All right, CPI. Okay, so CPI is called the Consumer Price Index that measures the change in prices of goods and services from the perspective of the consumer. It's a key way to measure changes in purchasing trend and inflation. All right, so take a look. This is the scary part. Take a look. Since 2023, we have a very stable CPI data, and that is at 3.8%. But if the thing goes up and hit 4%, which is here, 4.3%, this will break the last 3 years pattern. So that is why I say the market is now watching this very closely. Tonight, it will be a make or break. And of course, the CPI data has been going up the last 2 times. So overall itself, right, this is not a very good sign for traders if you're talking about long term. All right, if you make it smaller, can I get it smaller? Can I? Cannot. I can't do that. Let me just stretch a little bit. Oh, yes, I could. Okay. All right. So let's go back again into time. You can see what happened over here. The CPI data was quite flat on the way down for 2020 due to the COVID series. But when the thing come out, the CPI data shoot up itself. What happened to the period of time? We have a stock market coming down very heavily, right? So that's why I say we are all at the common point once again. Okay, so traders, watch out for this. Tonight it's going to be a very important night for you at 8:30 p.m. Singapore time. Okay, all right, so that is the fundamentals. So actually a lot of details here. Let's look at the technical. Now, I really hope that today I already do some update on my laptop. I hope today can see the charts. If we cannot see, then again, no choice. Apology on that. Okay, let's try. Okay, at least it managed to go to this screen. All right, let's see whether can you continue to be click. Oh dear. Oh gosh, this is really very tiring. Okay, so apparently again I can switch to this screen, but I cannot get the data coming in. Ah gosh. Okay, never mind. We have to go back to the drawing board again. I've done everything, guys. I already done everything. Maybe I must really change my laptop to do that. I don't know. Okay, but I checked my RAM is okay, it's usable and stuff like that. Okay, never mind. We always have backup. Okay, congratulations to everybody. Gold has came down to KTR -3. Congratulations. And of course, you can see the K trend. Just now I was talking to you about K trend, right? So how was the K trend here? Can you see this is the yellow cluster? And then the last yellow cluster is here. So which means that it's a lower yellow. Hence, therefore, a diamond line is there. Draw the diamond line. And once the market goes below the diamond line, you know no need to talk about it, just sell. All right, just sell. Now, of course, when you sell, you say, but KEL, the KSI is green. Yes, indeed, it's green, so it's okay. Remember, when we are selling something, if KSI is green, just sell a small quantity. All right, but when it turns to red color, the market will really come down. So you're actually selling something in ahead of time. All right, so once again, when you sell here, KTR -3 done. Congratulations, well done. So guys, that is how we trade. Okay, pretty cool, right? Yep. Okay, so a few minutes, so many messages coming in at the same time. Okay, so that is the trade today. This morning when we sell, what happened is that it's below OP. There's a diamond line. You draw here, so you can see the market didn't go above it. And once it goes below the OP, you sell. Now, of course, you will say, but KEL, the KSI is green. Now, remember, KSI is not a predictive indicator. It tells you what's happening right now. So think about this. If the market is below OP, is a red candle, is below diamond line, you know by the technique, it is a sell, right? And then because it's a sell, all right, it's a sell, okay? All right, when the market goes below the OP, right, and KSI is green, now think about this. If the market breaks below and KSI turn red, then what will happen? Of course, the market will sell even harder. So that's why when the KSI is green and you sell, just sell small because that is the technique. By the KSI later flip from green to red, then of course the selling will come in heavy. So do not, because of KSI is green, you don't sell. You should be selling. And you still sell, if the KSI turn red, that is where the money will be. That should be the right way to think about this. Yeah, that is very important. Okay, all right. So guys, so that is what happened to the market. And of course, after that, we have the blue diamond once again. That's where you sell and the price comes down. Hit KTR -3. I think that is a good time for you to buy back your position and hang on for a while. Don't do any more trading, all right? Because KTR -3 is already near the what they call near the low of the market, right? So KTR -3 is always the extremity. So don't sell here unless the market later break below. Now, if the market later break below this KTR -3, then you want to sell, you can sell. Only when you go below KTR -3, then you want to sell, you can sell. Okay, guys. So take note of that. Yeah, very, very important. Okay, all right. Now let's go back to the day chart first for gold. Let me explain to you now what's my view on gold on the long term. Yeah. Okay. So guys, ask yourself a question. Okay. Now, imagine you buy gold here or you buy gold here. Example. Yeah, you buy. So if you buy gold here, where's the stop loss? Naturally, you put it either at A or put it at B, right? Now, B is too far away, so it doesn't make sense. So likely you put at A, correct? Okay, so now let's take a look, yeah? Now, if you put at A, is there any wrong? No wrong, but let's see what happened. Can you see now? Exactly. The market actually purposely come down all the way to trigger the stop loss of the people who long and then immediately rebound the next day. So you see that that's a very, very nasty move by the boys, but they do it on a very regular basis. Okay, so now you understand why stop loss is always a good hunting ground for TP, because the boys will always put their TP at the stop loss of the traders. That's why 97% of the traders lose money. Okay, so you remember this, then we move forward, yeah? So after that, you can see the market continue to trade up first, then went sideways, and then what happened? The market now eventually break that same common support level, and then it closed below, right? Okay, so now, since it closed below, where could it be going next? So ask yourself, if anybody buys here, for some reason they buy here, thinking it's very cheap, what happened? They will put a stop loss somewhere, right? And where will they put? Yes, they'll put at A, correct? Here. So which means that there is a possibility that gold can go down further to about 4070 area. Around there, yeah? And the 4070 happened to be the KCB. So KCB on the left side, so that means that if you ask me for gold, there is a possibility for gold to trade all the way down to the low end of 4070. Sounds crazy, sounds incredible. I say again, I'm not saying it happened tonight, but it is possible, right? All right, so traders, please be careful. This number 4070 is a KCB level. And this point here itself is not too far away from 4070, yeah? So traders, watch out for this. My personal take is 4070, but not immediately, maybe a couple of days, all depending on the CPI data and the war in this Iran. Okay, all clear? If all clear, press number 1 right now on the comment box. All right, so that is my first take on gold. All right, now the thing is this, you look carefully on gold, this is where the KCB is 4070. So this is where the low was. So that's why it's very, very near to the KCB. So it is possible for the market to eventually drop to here itself, right? And the thing is this, with the boys selling, that escalated the thing itself. So we need to watch out. Now, the thing is, if you look carefully, this is a K trend that lead to the sell-off. So this is another K trend that leading to the sell-off. So actually, it's possible, yeah, for gold to come down right to there itself. Okay, so the question you asked, if gold goes down to 4070, would you be buying? Yes, I'll be buying some gold at that point, 4070. But if you ask me, there's another number here, it's 3977. So 4070 is the first number, first KCB. The second KCB is 3977. So if you ask me, I will put some buy order at 4070 and I watch it for a while. Likely you will take a rebound. Then after that, if the market do rebound and then after that, if you pull back down again, then I think it will go down to 3977. Now I think 3977 will be a very, very good price to buy and keep. Because, I mean, for gold itself, it already come down so much, right? So the thing is this, we all know that the inflation is going to hit the fence if, let's say, the CPI is high. Then, of course, with the Iran war happening, the oil price go up again, that will basically confirm the inflationary problem. So it's near term itself, it's very difficult for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rate. Very, very difficult. So the market is already pricing in of non-interest rate the next 2 months. Then after that, it's all right. They need to save the day because the US Treasuries need to pay money for their interest. So they'll start to pump money. And that's where you saw the data from the balance sheet is going up. So if that case is all right, I think after that, gold will go up. So my view is this: after that, after gold comes down over here, then gold will start to go back up again. 5,000. Yes, my view is that by this year, gold will go back to 5,000 again. Easily, right? Easily 5,000 again. Then after that, maybe go to the new high to 6,200. So this is my view here as well. At least you now know that I'm looking at 3977 to buy, and I'm looking at the target is still 5,000. All right. For those love to buy gold and keep, this is my number for you. Okay. All right. All clear. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Now, let me bring you to oil today, and that's why I'm watching again. Why? Yes, I think you saw it already, right, guys? Very fast, yeah? Eagle eye. Yes, the KSI is green. Okay, that's what I like to see. All right, so today oil is trading slightly above. Today's oil OP is 90.3, as it's below OP now. Oil is below OP, but KSI is green. And then what happened? Today is above pivot 1. Today OP is above pivot 1. So therefore, if the market stays above OP, it will be a buy. But the thing is this: despite what's happening now with the missile firing array, how come the oil didn't shoot up so much, right? Because there's a lot of selling pressure in oil. Because a lot of people have been buying oil and they are having stuck point here. So to me, I don't need to buy a lot. I just wait for a while, and I will just take this opportunity to watch it. And if only oil can start to climb up with a yellow candle, then I think this is going to be good. So $96 will be my first target for oil. Now it's still very low at 89.70. So I think we can really wait for a while. No need to rush in, although the KSI is green. So as long as the market is below OP, to buy oil is always dangerous. So wait for oil to go above OP, then you buy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Messaging coming in. Asking me, KEL, can we buy gold here? I already told you guys, to buy gold itself, you need to understand gold. Today there is a high chance gold may break 4,200 level and go down lower. Yeah. So I don't really advise you to do that if you ask me. Okay. If you ask me to, should you buy some this gold here, I think that's not very wise. Okay. I've given you my view already. Yeah. Okay. Next one, it will be the Bitcoin, where everyone asking me, KEL, Bitcoin, is it time to buy? Now, I already go give you some idea, guys. 63,000 back then, buy a little bit, you can buy, but I still think Bitcoin is going to break this point here, and you have tested last week. So I think you're going to test it again. I still think that Bitcoin is going to break down to 57,000 roughly there. Although we can see the boys are buying already, but I still think that we don't want to take the risk. If the Bitcoin can come back down to 57,000, I think that will be a very good price to buy into Bitcoin. Okay, 57,000. All right, last one, it'll be the Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones today, I have given you the view with NASDAQ, and I told you guys, I think that there will be some selling pressure today. Now, we have the very hard to see two doji side by side. All right, two doji side by side. We have one that is here, and then after that, the market breakdown. All right, so today is either this way up. If the CPI data is better than expected, I'm going to see the market going back up to 50,800. Okay. Yeah, we're too low, right? Wait a minute. Pivot 1. Oh, no, then it's not. Sorry, my bad. That's pivot 1. So it should be here. 51,000. Yeah, 51,600 will be the target. Now it's 50,800. that is, if it sell down and it breaks the MA30, which is here, the next figure can be as low as 49,949. Okay, so this is my personal number, 49,949. I think that's where the Dow will go, if let's say the CPI data is bad. Okay, so with all the boys buying, it's going to be very difficult to call for a sell. But with the zebra formation, plus the news ongoing, plus what had happened tonight, potentially, I think the bet should be on this guy here. Okay, again, don't need to go big. If you're selling, the market goes small because the KSI happened to be green in color. Okay, so just go small, yeah. Okay, no need to rush in. And this is the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ this morning, there was some profit taking in the morning, and now it rebounded on the Dow. But the NASDAQ today is above the pivot one. So by right, above OP, above pivot one, it's a buy. But because the boys are selling, so I will buy small. And if it breaks below OP, then I will sell it down all the way to the pivot point, and that's 28,304. Okay, so this is the NASDAQ. So traders, please watch out and be careful. There is a possibility of saying this. Okay, guys, that will be all for this morning's session. I want to show you other things on my MT4, but I just cannot do that. And let me just try one more time. No, it's not working. It's not moving at all. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. So, guys, that will be all for this morning's session. Other than that, I will do a gold MAO video likely today or tomorrow, and y'all can actually see why am I bearish on gold and bullish on gold later. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Take care, and thank you for coming in. Bye-bye.